Thousands of children and families in Marion County struggle with issues like poverty, substance abuse, or mental and emotional illness. Many local services exist to help families in crisis, but families often don't know about these services or can't get to them. Unmet needs can result in child abuse, neglect, or juvenile delinquency. The Early Intervention Planning Council, through the Marion County Commission on Youth's Early Intervention and Prevention Initiative, has created a plan to give families earlier access to services in the hopes of reducing the number of children who get abused or neglected or turn to delinquent acts. We hope you enjoy our monthly program, Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities, and learn more about the local services here to help you.
Hi, my name is Shana Martin, Director of the EIP Initiative at McCoy. Welcome to another episode of Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities. We've talked about the topic before of summer learning loss and the importance of keeping kids engaged and keeping their brains active in the summer. It's an important topic, and every year we think we should revisit it and talk some more about it so that parents understand the importance and that they also can connect to the resources we have in our community. So today we have a local expert, Judy Bardoner from Marion University, who's going to talk to us, Tony from St. Florian Center, and then Lynn from Concord Neighborhood Center. So a couple of programs that are doing great work in our communities for kids in the summer, but then also year-round. So they'll talk a little bit more about their programs. So Judy, if you just want to start off by introducing yourself and talk a little bit about what you do at Marion.
Sure. I'm Judy Bardoner, and I direct the Summer Learning Institute, which is an outreach program. We have 3 goals. The first is to stop and reverse summer learning loss. The second goal is to build great urban educators. And the third is to do research and disseminate our findings to the community so we can see what's going on with kids.
Good deal. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And Tony?
I'm Tony Williamson. I'm the Executive Director of the St. Florian Youth Leadership Development Center. We operate summer camps, we have after-school programs, we run a Rites of Passage program, we run a Readers or Leaders program. We're very active all year long. And the main thing for us is we want to teach young people and empower young people to just do something positive, be someone positive, and then they will experience multiple positive things, but they have to put the work into it. So it's really an exciting opportunity for them.
Good. Well, thank you for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lynn?
Hi, I'm Lynn Rogers from the Concord Neighborhood Center. I'm Director of Children and Youth Services. Concord Center is a multi-service center. We're just located south of downtown Indianapolis. We're the oldest community center in Indianapolis. And similar to what Tony does, we have a before school, after school summer programs for youth. And again, we try to do some of the similar activities, trying to keep kids active and busy. We like to think of ourselves as the kids home away from home. So trying to do great things as well.
Good.
So.
Good. Well, thank you guys for being here, and thank you for all the great work you do with kids and families in our community. So
Thank you.
let's talk about summer. You know,
Yes.
school is coming to an end. Yay!
Yes.
Which as a parent, I look forward to not having that routine and packing lunches and getting uniforms on and all that. But at the same time, as a parent, I recognize that I don't want my child not to be learning at all during the summer. I don't want her sitting around on the couch, just hanging out with friends and not continuing to stimulate her mind. So why is it important that they are reading, that they're doing math stuff, that they're going to the museum, that they're in programs where there are reading programs and science programs, and why is that important, Judy?
Oh gosh. Well, we've got so much research, really 100 years of research on summer learning loss, and we talk about the achievement gap between kids who have advantages and kids who are less privileged. And 2/3 of that achievement gap by 9th grade is a result of summer learning loss. So it's a huge problem. It's very critical that we get our kids involved and engaged. And now that we've got all of the brain research that's coming along, we know that when kids sit in front of a TV, it's like their brains are flatlining. And so one of the most important things for building kids' intelligence, helping them get smarter, is to expose them to all kinds of experiences. Experiences are what grow our brain. And so programs like these 2 programs that I've sent teachers to in the summer, they're great experiences for kids. The kids learn, and they have a great time and they're nurtured. And sometimes they don't get that experience in school. So this is a time when we can build up their skills. I think of it as a TAB PE program. You know, TAB,
Right.
how everybody knows TAB.
Yep,
Tabernacle,
I know.
that's right.
My kids play
Tabernacle.
soccer there.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
twice a week.
Well,
played
I
there
grew
many
up
moons
playing
ago.
there. Yeah.
I played softball there.
There you go. See.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I came out of the teaching profession, and in our school system, I was in Lawrence Township. We always had the top 25, and what happened was, so many times there weren't a lot of kids of color there. And it's because we didn't have a feeder program for them to get them into gifted and talented classes. So summer is an opportunity to get your kids prepared to do those higher academics. And the beauty of it all is that they don't even realize that they're learning. They are growing, they're learning, they're enjoying math, they're enjoying reading, they're enjoying science without any pain at all, as opposed to school when they just sit in a classroom and have teachers lecture to them. So this is an opportunity.
Yeah. So you guys have the benefit of teaching kids while
Absolutely.
also giving them great experiences and fun. So
Yes.
they look at it a lot differently. So talk a little bit about what you do with kids in the summer.
Well, let's clarify teaching, because
Okay.
we're not teachers.
Yes.
And we find ourselves, you know, at a deficit when it comes to trying to help. That's where Dr. Judy comes in, because what they bring to us is that expertise in teaching and the skills, the knowledge to be able to transfer that to our kids. We're recreation, we're social development, we're summer camp. And so they bring that expertise to us. So we try to build into our camps, and I'm sure Tony does too, the academic part of camp, and then we specialize in the field trips and the games and things like that. So it's great having Marian University on board. We also work with IUPUI with the reading program. So we focus on, at Concord, we focus on reading and math, and then for our older youth, we do a writing program. And so we try to touch a little bit of everything. K through third, we'll do reading, because I understand that if you don't have reading down by third grade, you're going to be behind. We focus third through fifth on math. If you get that math down, again, you're on your way. And so for our older students, we do writing, because it's a way for them to express themselves. What do the middle school teenagers always say? You never listen to us, you know, you never understand us. So we try to get them to write, to do something performance. So that's where we get the help from Marian and other universities, and that helps us. So that's kind of what we do.
Okay.
Well, what's so exciting about the summer is kids have an opportunity to explore. And they don't get that opportunity a lot of times. A lot of times parents and teachers are saying, don't do this, don't do that. You cannot go here, you cannot go there. So they're limited. And our kids are so incredibly talented if we just give them an opportunity. So the way our program is structured is every week we have a different module. And within that module, we focus on leadership development, respect and responsibility, goal setting, time management, definitely reading. We have a Readers Are Leaders program where we challenge the entire camp to read collectively 1,000 hours over the summer, which is a lofty goal. And they cannot just get that done in camp, which means they have to go home and read. And we're asking the parents to help us in that. So when they come back, then they can do a written book report, they can do an oral report.
Good.
And so we're building those skills, and they don't really realize what's actually going on. We take that to the next level. We join with the Writers Center, and they think about what's going on in their particular worlds, and again, they put it on paper, and they end up writing an entire book. They've published a book the last 3 summers just from their writing experiences. So it's incredible. So now you've given them something to be very proud of, something tangible to show their school, their classmates, on what they've been able to do over the summer. So providing these opportunities is incredible. So one week we'll have health and safety with a health fair. The next week we'll come back with art with a heart. And so the kids will use those creative juices to explore and share with not only themselves, but say, I can do this. A lot of kids never thought that they could draw before. But now they've experienced some success. So what's that going to do when they go back to school? They're going to be more willing to give back and to go that extra mile. So again, the brain is connected with, I can do that, I can be successful. So each week is different, has a different focus, but it's all created and centered around summer learning. They're learning and having fun at the same time.
Yeah, and what my research has shown is that 90% of the kids that we've worked with, and we've worked with nearly 1,000 kids each summer, that they are either on grade level or making gains during the summer. So it's incredibly important because we don't want them struggling in school. That's why they give up and that's why they drop out. And the dropout problem, I was reading the data, and there are 4,000 high school dropouts in Indianapolis. That's an incredible amount of dropouts.
Yes, it is.
And it equates to 250,000 the cost to taxpayers. So we don't, plus the implications for their lives.
Right.
We want these young people to become great citizens and follow their passions, follow their dreams. And we have to start young in order to do that, because we don't want them behind. We want them all ready to learn when they go back to school. And the beauty of what these programs do is, for the parents, they're going to love your kids. You know, that, to me, that's the thing. So many times there are toxic classrooms where kids don't feel loved. And so they shut down. But when they're put into these programs, they get loved, and they find out that they do like to learn, and they're very creative. And you know, another thing about the high school dropouts is a huge percentage of them are gifted individuals. So when you give them IQ tests, they are very, very smart individuals. So we don't want to lose anybody. We want all of our kids in this community to move forward. And Indianapolis is a leader in this. We have a very strong summer program. McCoy is doing an outstanding job of professional development for the leaders of the community organizations and other summer programs. And you might want to share that, because that's some exciting stuff.
I was going to. Right now it's focusing on all the work that you're doing. But
And what's beautiful about that is when our kids do go back to school, because they've had these new experiences, I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it because they're doing it every year. Our kids are joining the debate team. They've never joined the debate team before. The chess teams, you name it, they are getting out and involved in these other programs that the schools offered. Student government. They've never thought about joining student government, but because we're sharing those leadership roles, being a mayor of the camp, deputy mayor, budget director, safety officer, they're getting familiar with those leadership roles, and now they can apply it when they go back to school. So now they're engaged in school, and they stay in school and graduate and excel. We've had kids that have been told no so much that they were receiving some very low grades, and then they turn around and now they're making A's and B's. Teachers and parents are coming back. What did you do with our kid over the summer? You know, we found that spark in them, and now they're experiencing a lot of success.
Well, how do families access your programs? I know Concord is on the south side. St. Florian Center is...
We're everywhere.
Okay. So how do families find you? How do they get to you? Are they affordable? Talk a little bit about that.
The way to reach us is through our website, www.stfloriancenter.org. Or you can call our cell, 317-442-4508. We operate our summer camp at IPS School 27, the Center for Inquiry, which is right downtown. And we run a 7-week program there, and it's been wonderful. Parents can get our applications off of our website. They can call, we'll email it to them, and it's very affordable for our families, and we work hard with them to try and make sure that well, I almost hate to say it, we have never turned a kid away. We've never turned a kid away. I mean, our whole mission and goal is to provide resources for these young people. We want them to be successful, but they have to make that commitment. They cannot come 1 day a week or
Right.
2 days a week. They have to make
Right.
the commitment to come every day. Of course, take out for a family vacation, but come every day. That's the only way they will receive the benefits that we're speaking about now.
You want to find Concord Center?
Yes.
We're Facebook,
Okay.
Concord Center, Concord Neighborhood Center on Facebook.
Okay.
We also have a website, www.concordindy.org.
Okay.
And just go there. We'll give you information to reach us in terms of our camp. And like Tony, we normally fill our summer camp. So if you're interested, you need to get in. We're located on the south side. We're 1310 South Meridian, but we take kids and families from all over the city. We have a lot of working parents downtown who bring their kids with them, and they want, a camp that's nearby at work. So, we pretty much fill up early May, but we still have openings depending on the age of your child. So we try to make sure we enroll, about 100 kids. That way we are trying to make sure we have a good daily attendance of kids, as Tony said, trying to get them in every day. So just look for us and we can get you some information.
And what's important is we have 3 separate curriculums. Our first curriculum is for what we call junior cadets, our term of endearment. They're ages 6 to 9. Then we have our core cadets, which are ages 10 to 13. And then we have a high school component for young people ages 14 to 17. And so not only having the youth leadership development for our high school students, but we also have a youth employment component where they share what kind of careers they would like to get involved with, and we teach them how to get a job, keep a job, excel at a job, start their own business.
Okay.
And then we actually send them out into the community to shadow different professionals 2 days a week. So our curriculums are based on where those students are and their abilities, and then we set high expectations to get to that next level. So it's really a challenging program. We try to stop at 100, but we're bleeding hearts.
Yes.
So it's hard to stop at 100, but
Right.
that's our goal, to stop at 100.
Okay. Okay.
And we fill them so fast.
Yes.
So please send us that information quickly.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Yes.
It's a good
It is.
problem to have
Yes.
that that the need is there and that families recognize the importance of getting kids into good quality programs, because like Dr. Bardano said, we do have a lot of good quality programs here. And
Yes.
the really good ones and the quality ones fill up quickly.
Yes.
Right.
So families need to take advantage of that.
Right.
But McCoy has worked very hard to provide professional development opportunities, to bring all of those providers together. We work with Marian University to make sure the staff is qualified to handle the behavior stuff, but also to do the teaching and the nurturing
Yes.
and the loving, because I think you can teach a lot without having an education background and degree. And that's what you guys are talking about.
Yes. And that's one of the things, that's why I like to send pre-service teachers, university students who are interested in education to your
Right.
programs,
Yes.
because they learn how to love kids and how to nurture kids, and they learn why kids struggle in their classroom. And rather than get angry with them, they are able to look at them in an entirely different light and not see it as some kind of a challenging behavior, but as a child saying, I need help.
Yes.
I don't understand. And that's the beauty of it. And we are we are successful in that. So many of the students who come to your programs teaching, and we don't really teach, we play learning games with them. So it doesn't look like school at all, but they come back to me after they've done their student teaching and they say, I didn't have as much classroom management problems as I thought I was going to have.
Right.
Because they understand how kids struggle. And so it's a really complementary type of relationships. Universities bring powerful resources, but
Absolutely.
you
Yes.
programs bring more probably to us than we bring to you. in the way that you teach us how children operate, how children think, how to love kids. So I think it's a very dynamic relationship, and it's very exciting. And IUPUI has come on board, and I'm very excited that other universities in the area are expressing interest too.
Yes.
And other partners. I mean, you highlighted Art with a Heart. I know
Oh,
Junior
yeah.
Achievement. So
absolutely.
you guys are providing
Yes.
sort of, the infrastructure. You've got the place, you've got the
Yeah.
meals,
Yes.
you've got the support
Yeah.
staff, but then you're also bringing in, other programs in the city that offer expertise in maybe
Right.
one particular area, which exposes the kids to even more people, to more
Yes.
opportunities, and to the opportunities that they can still benefit from
Right.
outside of summer camp, because these programs
Absolutely.
come into their schools or they offer programming at their sites also.
Yeah.
So I always enjoy,
Yes.
because my daughter goes to a summer camp program.
Yes.
100 Black Men. I have to
Yes.
plug
Yeah.
her in too. She
Yeah.
goes there every
Yeah.
summer. It's a great program. She learns,
Right.
but I enjoy hearing about the field trips. I enjoy
Yes.
hearing and seeing her art projects. They work with Art with a Heart. They've done last year. They did banking and budgeting,
Yes.
and all of that is just
Right.
life.
Yeah.
Life experiences, which our kids need as much as they need
Exactly.
A plus,
Yes.
or 1
Right.
plus 2 is 3
Sure.
and stuff. They still need to
Right.
understand how the world works and about careers and
Yeah.
jobs.
Yes.
And now is never it's never too early.
Well,
It's never too early.
absolutely, yes, and we share that with them all the
Mm-hmm.
time because a lot of times the young people get talked to instead of talked with.
Yeah.
So we really look for that feedback from them. So we tell them this is a real life situation. If there's a discipline situation, then we look at exploring those options. If there's a opportunity to learn how to swim, because so many young people are losing their lives because they don't know how to swim. So we
Right.
bring in Indy Parks and they teach our young people how to swim. We bring in the algebra group because so many of our kids are afraid of math. They
Right.
don't even want to attempt it. But they come in and they share those learning games
Yes.
Yeah.
with them
That's
and make
right.
it comfortable. And again, so when they go back to school, now they're prepared to learn. They don't have that gap that in the school where the teachers have to spend 2 weeks to 2 months
Right.
retraining them on what they learned the year previous. So it's very important. So we try to incorporate all of those things. We have our STEM program, which is wonderful.
And what is STEM?
Science, technology, engineering, and math. So how the world functions. I was watching something on TV today that said the top 10 careers, out of the top 10, 9 were careers in STEM. The other was in pharmacy.
Okay.
So that leads our young people to independence when we can share that information, and now they can start setting goals other than wanting to be their primary thing of being a
Yes.
basketball, football, baseball player.
Right.
So we say, what else are you going to do?
Right.
So we try to introduce those things. We have a law and government module where our kids put on a mock trial and they play every role, from the judge, the jury, the bailiff, the prosecutor, each role, and we bring in attorneys to help facilitate that. And so now our kids are, I can do that.
Yes.
I can do that.
Yeah.
So exposure to all of those things makes it so important for our young people to experience success.
But in addition to that, we do a lot of work at our centers. Dr. Judy comes in, but it's more important for the parents to be involved.
Oh,
And so
yes.
we do
Oh,
a lot of
yes.
work. We provide,
Yes.
opportunities for our kids for summer. But for the parents, yes, it is a summer break, but you still need to be involved.
That's right.
And we try to keep our parents active. We invite them to come to camp.
Yes.
We ask for them to be volunteers. We do a family night where they come in and we showcase what their kids have done over the summer. Because some parents never know what their kids have done. They do all this work all day, and we want their parents to know what the kids are doing. So talk to your children, find out what they're doing, what they've learned, and then that way it enhances, what we've done with them. So parents definitely need to stay involved. Stay involved.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
Parents are
have a game
such
plan for the summer.
critical- They're such a critical component
Yes.
to what we do. We would not be successful with all of the partners.
Right.
And that's a key for the summer learning. for the parents to understand what our young people are doing. So
Right.
we have them actually sign in their blue book every
Right.
day that they've had a conversation with their young people, so they can explain from the time they arrive to the time they go home, because a lot of our kids, they don't talk, they don't
Right.
hear, they don't want to listen, and the parents are so busy. Oh, I'm so tired. This gives them an opportunity to get involved with their young people and help them grow, because this learning is
Yep.
for a lifetime.
Right.
Yeah.
So that parent component is important. Yes, we have
Yes.
our parents' night.
Right.
We have a parent luncheon with them. We have the parents come and do a cookout. They do a talent show where the parents come out. So we ask our parents to really be engaged in the summer as well.
Great.
Yes.
Judy, what are some things that parents that are watching this that may not have their kids in summer programs for whatever reason it may be? If their kids are not actively engaged and involved in a summer program, what are some things that parents can be doing with them, either at home or in the community, to help keep their brains stimulated?
Well, the first thing is we're learning so much about the new brain science, okay? And one of the things we're learning is that you can get smarter. You know, we used to, back in my day, think, oh, well, whatever you're born with, that's who you are. But that's absolutely a lie. What's true is that we all can get smarter, no matter how old we are. And the way we get smarter is by our experiences, okay? So one of the things that they can do is just with cards, okay? Cards and a kitchen timer. They can play the war game, only instead of just who's higher, they add the cards together, or they subtract the cards. And whoever does it the fastest wins the cards.
Okay.
They could multiply the cards. Dividing is pretty tough. So anything that involves getting them to speed up, okay? You also can lay out 3 cards, add them together. Who can do it fastest, okay? Always keep them on a timer though, because that's the way we build what we call automaticity and fluency. And we know that we're able to manipulate information in our brains, but only like 5 chunks of information at a time. We used to think it was a little more than that, but now with the new brain research, only 5 chunks. So it's very important that kids have their math facts down.
Right.
And the card games teach the math facts. Times tables the same way. Adding and subtracting and times tables are critical. So those are the things. Then in reading, or the most important thing about reading is vocabulary and comprehension, okay? So when kids read books, they shouldn't just be reading any book. They really need to read books that are based on what they're called their Lexile level, and the teachers have that. So the teachers can send home, and most teachers do send home a list of books that the child would enjoy and be based on their reading level. And then as the child reads the book, ask them questions, the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, why, and then the 1 H, how. So it's so important that you talk through books with kids. So tell me about what happened just here. What was that character like? Why do you think the author wrote that? Because, you know, authors always have an ulterior motive. It's not usually just to tell a good story. Even Harry Potter. There are messages behind kids' picture books. So we want kids to think about that, and that builds comprehension. So the vocabulary component. I was teaching high school one time, and I had a couple students who were bold and courageous enough to ask me, you know, I'm not sure about what between means. Would you explain between to us? And I thought that was really courageous at a high school level that students would ask that question. There are so many words in books that we think our kids understand what they mean, but until we ask them about it, we can't find it out. And the only way you can do that is by looking at books with kids, reading books with kids. The other thing they can do is have the child, if they want to build fluency, which means the ability to read coherently, is to have the child read a paragraph and then you read a paragraph. So they get to hear the language. We want them to hear how good readers read. Okay?
Exactly.
So
Good. Well, thank you.
those are 2 things I would do.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
helpful hints. And The libraries have the summer reading program. So
Oh,
I just had to put a
yeah.
plug in for that.
Yes.
And because
Yeah.
it's incentive based, so I love it because the more you read, the more
Yes.
points you get, the more
Yes.
stuff you
Right.
get.
Yes.
Baseball
That's
tickets,
Yes.
fever tickets.
That's right.
All
It's
kind of goodies.
beautiful.
So all the libraries are accessible
Yes.
to check out books and to read. All the libraries have programs
Yes.
that families can take advantage of. The Children's Museum has a free night
On
Yes.
Tuesday
on
nights.
Thursday.
Is it
I think it's the first Thursday of the
Right,
month.
First Thursday.
And a lot of the other museums, the indie parks, they've got concerts, they've got
Yes.
programs. So I'm pointing all this out to say in our community there is so much to do
Yes.
in the summer
Yep.
that families can take advantage of that are free
Right.
and that are accessible to all and that will continue to help our kids grow and to stimulate their minds and to provide them with those experiences. And that doesn't have to happen in a classroom. So
right.
I thank you
Yes.
guys so much for being here.
you.
This
Thank
was
you.
wonderful for sharing a lot about your programs. And like I said, we highlighted 2 today because I can't get everybody in here that I would love to have in here. But, I think you guys are a great representation
Thank you.
of the wonderful work that's being done in our community for kids through the summer, but then also year round and, all the work that you're doing at Marion University. So thank you guys very much for being here. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Great. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Our Kids, Our Families, Our Communities. And I look forward to seeing you again next month.